What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 best cards you guys should be side decking right now. And the reason why I'm going to make this video is because, let's face the fact, the format is pretty much set in stone, with Pendulum Magicians being the best deck to play with, and spirals, trickstars, true Draco variants, all being splashed up in there. So this is the sole purpose of this video, to help you guys out going to big events and help you guys side deck the best cards. So as I always tell you guys, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin. Starting out by saying, I want to ask you guys to smash that like button. Let's get this video to 200 likes. 200 likes would be awesome for this video because it'll help support the channel. So let's go shoot straight into the video, gun ho, with my number 10 pick, and that's Dimension Barrier. Very simple card. Fact pretty much reads, you activate it, your opponent can either not Pendulum Summon for the turn, Synchro Summon for the turn, Fusion Summon for the turn, and or XYZ for the turn. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. You can only use one Dimensional Barrier per turn. Now, this card is dope because it completely shuts off game mechanics. Now, this card is mainly side decked for its diversity, meaning it's obviously people are siding it for Pendulum Magicians because it's an easy one-out card. You stopping your opponent from the Pendulum Summon for the turn. But also, it's good for those rogue matchups as well. Play against a guy like me using heroes, you can side it in. It's called Fusion. If you play against that one random Synchro kid at your locals, you can side it in, call Synchro. Overall, it's a universal side deck card. And you guys already know about me. Anything that's universal is pretty good. So with that being said, I had to drop Dimension Barrier on this list number 10 because it's a universal side deck card. It's a solid pick. It's one of the best cards going into this format. So you guys should definitely pick it up and side deck it at the reads in your side deck. Number 9, Twin Twister. Now, this may come to shocker because a lot of you guys may be thinking, why not Cosmic Cyclone over Twin Twister? Reason being, if your people are going to main deck Spell and Trap Destruction, they're usually going to use this Cosmic Cyclone anyway. But Twin Twister is coming back into favor due to the fact that a lot of people are running heavy back row. This format's weird, this format is diverse. And Twin Twister is going to help you out beat those rogue players who just like to set 5 and pass. Simple effect, pick a card out your hand, pop 2 back row. Good against any back row heavy deck. It's chainable because it is a quick play spell. What is there not to like about it? I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory on why it's good and why you guys should be having your side deck. But if you guys do not, and you guys feel like your locals, you might run into an event where people may be side decking a lot of stuff, back row hate, Twin Twister will definitely be the card for you. So with that being said, it had to be on list number 9. Number 8, Unending Nightmare. Now, like Dimensional Barrier, Unending Nightmare is mainly for the Pendulum matchup because its effect pretty much reads, you activate it, you pay 1,000 life points during either player's turn to pop a face-up spell and trap card, which is really good for Pendulums because every time they set a spell, pay 1,000, blow up scale, you're pretty much going to lock them out and win the game, right? Now, this is also a universal card because against decks like, let's say for example, Trickstars, or a deck that just run a lot of face-up continuous spells that rely on their field spell or abuse their field spell a lot, you get to pop those cards, which is really good. It's going to help you just beat certain matches. Now, I wouldn't side deck this against Trickstars, don't get it twisted. It was just the first thing that came to my mind. But for the side deck, let's say for example you're playing a deck like Heroes and you figured your opponent might side deck a continuous spell that can stop you. You can side deck that Unending Nightmare to not only hurt their field spells, but to hurt that card as well. Overall, it's a solid card. Made this list at number 8 because it's mainly good against against Pendulums, but it can be used for other random roguish matchups as well. A great example would be Monarchs as well because every time they enter their Monarch domain, pay 1,000, blow it up. Number 7, Anti-Spell Fergus. Now, this is also another card purely for Pendulums. You activate it, your opponent has to set all spell and trap cards before they do their shenanigans. But the reason we'll make this card good for the Pendulum matchup is because they can't activate their scales, which is really great. And outside of Pendulum decks, guys, against decks that rely heavy on their spells like Heroes or just any spell-reliant deck in general, having your opponent set everything first puts them back behind on turns. A great example of a deck that can abuse this card is a card like Anti-Spell. No, it's a deck like Frogs or Paleozoics, which set everything regardless, so it can definitely take advantage of the power that this card offer. Anti-spell is a simple effect you guys already know, which is why I made this list on number 7. Number 6, Ghost, Reaper, and Winter Cherries. Now, pre-YCS Atlanta, Ghost, Reaper, and Winter Cherries was kind of fluctuating on should you run it, should you not run it. A lot of people didn't want to run it just because of they felt like it didn't do anything enough. It didn't do anything against spirals. And heck, I can attest to that. When I played it at regionals, it literally did 0 to nothing in spirals. They just made sleeper pass, and I was an odd GG no re. But moving forward now in a weaker version of spirals, when a lot of pendulum decks are relying on heavy metal foes, Electrum, Reaper, Winter Cherries. I'm looking at a lot of these event recaps. A lot of people are side decking this card, and they're side decking the 1 Heavy Metal Foes Electrum, and they're side decking the 1 ABC Buster Dragon and the 1 Spyral Double Helix, because this card completely just craps on decks that want to spam out things that can just F everyone over, you know? So with that being said, it's a ghost card. Why not play it? I haven't made this list because it's just that good, and it's getting clout pretty much. When it's number 5, we got Magical Spring. Now, this card is pretty solid. It's mainly side deck for the pendulum matchup. Reason being is because it's really good and really techy. You draw amount of cards for the amount of faceless spell and trap cards your opponent controls, meaning their scales, their astrographs. Essentially, if you're playing against a pendulum magician player, you can literally go plus through up the card, and you pitch a card according to this card based on the number of spell and trap cards you face that you control. It's mainly good because against pendulums you just plus so much. It's a really good card to have. But outside of that part, it allows your opponent not to destroy their own cards, which if you're playing against a pendulum player who wants to abuse things like Wavering Eyes, or they want to pop their scales with a Wisdom Magician, it's pretty solid. Overall, Magic Spring is a card that's definitely good in the side deck. Players have cited it before, and it's proven to work. So it's also proven to work now, which is why it made this list at number 5. Number 4, the Kaijus. This also includes things like Raw Spear Mode, cards that tribute your opponent's monsters, if you're in a budget Lava Golem. And these cards in general are just pretty solid because unbreakable boards, stuff that we really don't want to deal with, like a Sleeper Turbo lockdown or a Odd Eyes Vortex lockdown because of the pendulum players. I mean, stuff that's really dirty to deal with. Gamma Seal, Raw Spear Mode, any of those tribute monsters would be good. Right now, I'm personally favoring the Gamma Seal and or Kaiju engine because it just works against all of that crap. And also, if you guys don't mind upping your normal summon, something like Lava Golem can be pretty solid as well, because the thing about Lava Golem, he gets for the 2 monsters. And a lot of the time in these pendulum decks, they bring out 2 solid monsters you guys can't get rid of. So, right? So with that being said, tributing cards are good because they just wreck the opponent and just win his face. Number 3, Dark Hole. Now, Dark Hole, simple card, destroy all monsters on the board. We have our Geki at 1. You guys are working with me here. This card has been seeing slight side decks, in and out of side decks throughout the format. I know Illinois' own Imran Khan, he side decked it in his Spyral deck that he got 4th place with at YCS Atlanta this past weekend. Now, the reason why people are citing, it's not just the fact that they're citing Dark Hole, but they're citing more field destruction in general, where if it's a Torrential Tribute and etc. It's because, let's face the fact, deck spans fields. And against decks like Dinosaurs or Heroes, who they're very solid, but if they lose their field, they're hard to recover. Cards like Dark Hole, Torrential Tribute, Dave Reign, Supreme, due to the fact that if you got a deck that needs their field to be good, and you got another deck that can just wipe it out in one fell swoop, cards like Dark Hole is going to be awesome. Monster Reborn, not Monster Reborn, but Mirror Force and etc. I mean, field destruction is good. This is why it's sided. Dark Hole is a really good side. That's more we said about that. Number 2, Chaos Hunter. This is specifically for trickstars. I guess it could be also cited for Infernoids because apparently that's making a comeback. Especially with the new Dark deck that's coming out. It's going to be so dirty. But mainly this is for trickstars. They can't banish their stuff. They can't burn you as much. They can't OTK you. And the last card I'm going to talk about is Zaphiana Time Lord. Now, if you guys remember, I made a Time Lord video. You guys can find it. I'm not going to link it here or anything like that. But Zaphiana Time Lord is another great card for pendulum decks. and back row heavy decks alike. He's unaffected by targeting effect, and I believe he's unaffected by destruction as well. And when you do destroy him, you draw 1 card. And pretty much, if you play against a pendulum player, they set up their scales. They have like 1 card in their hand, they pass, and you open the Zaphion. GG, they lose. You're gonna wipe all their back row, wipe their skills. They're gonna be left with 1 monster. They may make a Baguska. Then once you're out their Baguska play or whatever they try to do, it's gonna be GG no re. Simple effect. I love Zaphion, the Time Lord, and honestly speaking, if you guys have issues with rogue players, try it out. And if you guys notice, a lot of these cards on this list I talked about is just mainly for pendulums, but they're also universal as well. But pendulums is the best deck to fight against right now, so you guys want to make sure you have something for that. So with all that being said, man, post your thoughts and opinions about this video in the comment section down below. There's a side deck card you guys wanted me to talk about, but I didn't. Also, let me know. Subscribe if you haven't. This is Innovation YGO, and I'm signing out. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces. Peace.